The coffee hit my face before I could blink, boiling, bitter, and almost poetic. Mom's hand still trembled from the throw, her voice slicing through the stunned silence of the engagement party. "Cancel your wedding and give us $40,000 now!" Her words rang out like a siren. The guests froze. My sister clutched her diamond-studded phone. Her fiancé looked ready to vanish. And then, as if summoned by fate, Daniel walked in. Calm, composed. My fiancé, the man they thought they could manipulate. He wrapped an arm around me, the kind of gesture that looks protective to everyone else but means something far deeper to me. "Tell them who you really are," he said softly. Mom's face drained of color. She staggered back, her mouth opening but no sound coming out. Then she collapsed. Because in that moment, she realized I wasn't the naive daughter she'd built her schemes around. I was the one who'd been watching her all along. It started 2 years ago, the night she pawned my late father's watch. I'd found the pawn ticket folded neatly inside her purse, right next to a loan repayment plan with my name printed across the top. She'd been using my identity to open credit lines, stealing quietly in the shadows of my trust. I didn't confront her then. I was still that desperate daughter, craving her approval, mistaking her manipulation for maternal love. But when I found out she'd forged my signature to secure a down payment for my sister's engagement ring, something in me crystallized. Not rage, clarity. She'd always taught me control, how to hide my emotions, how to play the long game. I learned too well. The first move was silence. I stopped reacting. She mistook it for weakness. The second was access. I offered to help her organize her finances. She handed over every password, every statement, every thread of deceit she'd spun. The third was patience. I traced every fraudulent account she'd opened under my name, every wire transfer to my sister's wedding fund. I contacted the right people, quietly. A forensic accountant, a lawyer who didn't blink at family cases. Within months, every cent she'd stolen was accounted for, every lie documented. But I didn't want to destroy her yet, not publicly, not until she believed she'd won. When Daniel proposed, Mom's tone changed. Suddenly she was warm again, supportive. She offered to handle some of the wedding expenses, on the condition that the money passed through her account. I agreed. I even thanked her. She smiled, thinking she was tightening the leash. I was, in fact, loading the gun. Every transaction, every fabricated receipt, every transfer, I let her dig the hole deeper. When I needed evidence, I made sure it was traceable. When I needed witnesses, I invited the right people over. My sister, her fiancé, our relatives, all unknowingly rehearsing for tonight. The engagement party was her grand performance. I knew she'd demand something. It was her way of asserting dominance when she felt control slipping. But even I didn't expect the theatrics of hot coffee. It burned, yes, but not enough to break me. I stayed still, watched her breathing grow shallow as Daniel stepped in. "Tell them who you really are," he said again, his voice low but steady. He wasn't speaking to me, he was speaking to her. Because Daniel already knew everything. He'd helped me file the reports, build the timeline, and freeze the accounts, all of them. I watched Mom's eyes flick toward the guests, my sister, her fiancé, my aunts, all whispering now. Her face shifted from rage to realization. She understood that the $40,000 she demanded didn't exist. It had already been seized by the authorities as stolen funds. She realized the engagement ring on my sister's finger had been purchased with fraud. She realized that every lie she'd told had been copied, notarized, and submitted 3 days ago. That's when she collapsed. Not from shock, she's too strong for that. From exposure. The silence that followed was almost sacred. Someone called for water, someone else for help. I just stood there, the coffee cooling on my skin, the smell of bitterness mixing with roses and champagne. Daniel squeezed my shoulder. "It's done," he whispered. He was right. By morning, the truth would spread through the family chat groups like wildfire. My sister's engagement would crumble under the weight of stolen money. My mother would face charges for identity theft and fraud. And I would finally be free from their shadow. Sometimes revenge isn't fire. It's frost. It's patience stretched thin, truth sharpened into a blade. They called me cold for not crying, but they never understood. I had cried for years. Tonight, I didn't weep. I watched. I waited. And when the coffee burned, I smiled, because that was the last time she'd ever hurt me. When the truth came out, I didn't need to shout. She fell on her own sword. And for the first time, I finally felt clean.